Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I will cover episode 6 of the Berserk anime, which is called Nighttime Feast Burning at the Stake. So it starts out with Guts. He's still in pursuit of Casca, and he comes across the Skull Knight. He makes an appearance in this anime, and he warns him about a prophecy or what is up to come, because you see a second eclipse will take place, or an event similar catastrophic as the one that took place during the eclipse. And the gods has this his memories come back and he remembers what the horrors of the eclipse. And basically the Skull Knight warns him that a similar event will take place at the Tower of Conviction, and that all the undead souls will gather and there will be a huge massacre. So he's like this prophet. The Skull Knight is a very cool character in the Berserk universe, and he's badly done in CGI in this anime version, but he's a very cool character, and he's like this prophet. He warns gods, and he's actually also helps him a lot in the manga, and he warns him about the terrible things that are on its way. So Guts remembers the eclipse and the horrors that took place during that one moment when Griffith sacrificed the band of the Hawks to the god hand, and everyone got slaughtered and eaten alive by the demons. And then we cut back to Fernice. She has an inner conflict because her superiors don't approve of her, and she thinks about the poor and how they suffer, and she gets to sit in the tower and have all that food, and she is not respected very well by her underlings. And then she gets down to the dungeon to check up on the torturers, and we get to know a little bit more about the torturers, especially about this one guy. I don't know his name, but he has this costume and he has this beak mask, and we learn that he has a very difficult skin disease, that if he's exposed to sunlight he will get warps all over his body, and so he can't sit in sunlight because his skin will boil practically. And we learn that Father Mosgus took him in when he found him in the forest under a tree. And so he has a very tragic backstory. Actually, all of the torturers from Father Mosgus have a very dark backstory, but in this one we only learn about this guy here with the beak. And then he goes with Serpico and Fornis to visit Father Mosgus, and Father Mosgus is this really crazy fanatic. He slams his face on the stone floor and to atone for his sins, and he prays like a maniac. So Farnese looks up to him, and he has very strong faith, but he's really just crazy. When you think about it, he's really just a fanatic, or he's depicted as one in both the manga and the anime. And so basically he's this religious guy who everyone fears, and Farnese looks up to him. So they have this conversation about the poor villagers outside the Tower of Conviction, and Father Moscos tells her not to fear as long as she has faith and believes in God. And also he tells her that faith is everything, and that there is only one way to redeem for your sins by having faith. And there you get these creepy eyes from the sky. So we cut back to in front of the Tower of Conviction. The people are still in famine, and there is this guy who is a customer of Nina. I think his name is Joachim or something. Yes, Joachim, and he kinda takes a liking into Nina, and he wants to actually, I think he wants to go out with her or have a steady relationship. But Nina, of course, is a prostitute. So, and she's also very ill. She has this disease, and she tells her to meet with him at midnight at the cliff. Then she goes away, and she has a really bad feeling about Joachim. And then when midnight comes, she meets up with him at this hill and tells him to go, if he wants to go with her somewhere hidden and be alone. And then everyone will remember this scene from the manga, which was pretty graphic on sex. Basically, as far as I know, Nina is part of this satanic cult, and Luca sees her, and I think Casca in her retarded state also decides to get along. So all those Satanists gave her in a cave, and they dance around this bonfire, and everyone is just having this sexual orgy. And yeah, it was pretty graphic in the manga, and I'm kind of surprised they showed a lot in the anime as well. So Nina goes there with Joachim, and so everyone is having sex with everyone, and there is this goat-like demon or monster. Nina goes with Joachim to him, and when he sees that goat guy, he gets pretty scared. And there are a lot of trippy hallucinations there. As you can see, everyone is just dancing around that trippy pot. This was a fairly hard to watch scene. And then he runs away, the stupid guy just runs away and falls off the cliff to his death, and basically he dies. Or I believe he will get carried away. So when Nina realizes that, she starts to cry, and then when she snaps out of the situation, she starts to cry and don't know what to do. And then she's confronted by Luca, who has a speech about Nina being just stupid and being responsible for Joachim's death. And then comes another funny scene. She basically grabs Nina after she throws a stone at her head, and she slaps her butt several times, and then the stupid camera just spins 360. That was pretty stupid. I believe the animation the CGI animation was really bad in this episode, and Casca coming along stumbles upon those rapists from the cave, and then when they take the bandages off Casca, they realize she's really pretty, and then try to rape her. And then Casca has this flashback where she was raped during the eclipse. But thankfully, once again, she's getting saved by the fetus of her unborn child, and all those demons join to her location because of the brand, and the rapists transform into zombies or monsters and eat each other. So then when they see that, the rest of them sees that, they said that she has magical power and that she is a witch, and everyone is worshipping her, or at least a satanic cult. Then we cut back to the tower, where we learn more about Vernice's backstory, and there is a little boy which they try to burn at the stake as well, but thankfully Serpico helps him out, and he's actually a really good guy. His parents were also burnt at the stake when he was little, and this reminded him of him, and he saved the boy, which was really cool. And then everyone gets burnt at the stake by these horrible CGI looking pictures, and Serpico tells the other guy that at a young age his parents were also burnt in front of his eyes. Yeah, so pretty much. And Vernice also has this hallucination where she remembers back when she was a little child. She ran to a stake and set it on fire, and she also has a very dark past, and I believe even in the manga she masturbates to the fire, I believe, but that was only implied in the anime. Nevertheless, this was a really rather dark episode. A lot of bad stuff happened during this part, and it's still up. A lot of bad stuff is still up to come. Thankfully, and finally, Guts is on his way to the tower, and he reaches the tower on pursuit of Casca, and Isidro also catches up to him, and they're both on their way to the tower to rescue Casca. And I'm pretty psyched for the next episode to see how things will turn out. So yeah, overall, this episode, the CGI in this episode was once again unbearably bad. I believe some parts were good, especially the story was awesome. It felt a little bit rushed from the content. It definitely felt a little bit rushed, but overall it was enjoyable. A lot of dark stuff was shown again. This is not for the skirmish. Berserk is indeed a very dark and major seinen manga, so the source material is kind of hard to adapt to the anime, but they did it in quite a good way, I thought. Even though it felt a little bit rushed, I enjoyed this episode as a Berserk fan, and I'm pretty much looking forward for the next one. So yeah, this was my review of episode 6. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like, please comment in the comment section below, or subscribe to my channel for more anime or Berserk reviews. And see you guys next time. Everyone take care. Bye bye.